Welcome to B.A.Showoff, the dance lifestyle podcast. I'm Becky.
And I'm Alexandra. And whether you're a dance coach, dance parent, or a dancer yourself, this is the show for you. Tune in now for part 2 with Ricky Ubeda.
And then what'd you do after that from there?
So from the West Side movie, I auditioned for the West Side Story revival on Broadway. And that happened. And it was right after we wrapped West Side movie. And I was understudying Bernardo, which is like the leader of the Sharks. And that was like a more like contemporary take on the story. So it was kind of interesting to like look at the material through like a new lens. Like we had like all these tattoos and we were like all faded out. It was very like modern day. And we went up to right till the pandemic with that. Like we just opened in February, and then maybe like last week of February we opened, and March it shut down. But I was able to go on to Bernardo like 10 times.
Oh, well, that's cool.
Yeah.
And
then my family was there for opening, and the guy who played Bernardo called out the next day. My family stayed to watch me do Bernardo. It was a big moment for them.
Oh, yeah.
That's amazing.
Really cool moment.
Yeah. And from then, you left New York. You came to Miami for a
Pandemic,
little while.
literally like the day they canceled Broadway, at midnight, I was at the airport with my dog, and I was like, if Doomsday is coming, I'm not going to be in New York for it. No, we're not doing that.
Let's go home.
I was like, I'd rather be, if I'm going to get stuck somewhere, if the airports are going to close, like, remember, we didn't know.
Yeah.
Like, I thought, like, it was going to be, like, contagion, like, the airports are going to all shut down, we're all going to be stuck, full chaos.
Yeah.
And it was chaos, but I was like, if we're going to be stuck like that, I need to be with my family. I need to be with my family. I didn't have a partner at the time. I'm like, it was just me and my dog. I would have driven myself insane.
Oh, no, yeah.
So I left, like, and in case the airports were going to close, I left, like, that night. It was, like, March. It was very early on.
Yeah, I remember that you came back.
I was like in New York still with my tattoos on from West Side Story.
These are really mine.
Yeah, I would kind of walk around like they were mine because we'd have to keep them on for like a week.
Oh my God.
They were like long lasting, and we'd have to like touch them up, but like we would keep them on. And it's crazy how people treat you differently.
Yeah.
It really was like a fun social experiment.
Well, I remember I thought that they were real when I first saw it. I was
Like I had them on my neck.
Yes.
And like on my back. They were everywhere.
I was like, wow, that's a lot.
I have a small memory of this.
Yeah.
It wasn't a very long period
Yeah.
of time, but it was like my Instagram stories looked a lot like tattoos and like blood
Yes.
on my face from the show.
And they looked so real.
They looked so real.
Because I remember thinking, what the heck?
Yeah. So then that's it. The pandemic was, I was starting to feel funny sort of at the end of like right before the pandemic hit. Like I was like, something's just not right. My body doesn't feel quite right. And that just like led me into like the pandemic for like almost like 2 years. Thank God I was home. I like had a lot of issues with my health. And that was a very like, it was a teaching time, I would say. It was trying and I learned a lot. And it was like, I don't want to minimize it, but I also don't want to give it. It was just like the worst time of my life.
I remember you
a lot of weight. I ended up having, this wasn't the issue. I had celiac. I had no idea, and I lost I had lost a lot of weight. I was very skinny. I didn't know what was going on. I was having like nervous system issues. I couldn't really think straight. I was very confused. My energy level, I couldn't like walk around the block. I ended up having like a lot of autoimmunity come out of nowhere. A lot of like mystery. Like it was very like mystery illness. I would like go to all these doctors. Nobody really knew what was going on. Like I wouldn't test positive for the autoimmunity stuff, but it was like all the symptoms. And then anyway, it was a very long process to figure out.
It's good that you did the Thailand thing because that probably helped you deal.
That was honestly like, I would say 50% of getting well, like mind, body, spirit, like even when you're sick from like whatever, anything it may be, like chronic illness, 50% of getting well is like where your nervous system is sitting.
Yeah.
Because if your nervous system isn't sitting in the right place, your body can't heal. It can't do the work that it needs to do. Like our bodies are innately just able to do that. Like we're built to get better.
Yeah.
But we are constantly like sticking things in the way, whether it be like the food that we eat or the stress that we put on ourselves or the unresolved like emotional like trauma in our body, whatever it may be. These things get blocked and our body can't work well to heal whatever is going on. So I ended up having a virus that, because I had celiac, it was like one thing led to another, but because I had celiac, my body wasn't absorbing any nutrients. I didn't have the nutrients to like fight. I didn't have the vitamins and the things to fight off. My immune system was so like weak. It didn't have what it needed to fight off the virus, that like my nervous system, my brain got like jumped in, like my limbic system of my brain. And it just like, my body was just on fire because it like was like, hello, something needs to change. Like,
Yeah.
so
and luckily you were here home with
I was at
family
home.
to help you.
My grandma was cooking for me every day. I went like on a paleo diet. Like I did a lot of things.
Yeah, you tried everything.
I tried everything, but ultimately, the biggest thing that got me there was like I did a lot of brain work, a lot of nervous system work, a lot of work on my brain, neuroplasticity, a lot of visualization, a lot of changing that energy.
And
in
having the
order to
support
get
around
well.
you really.
Yeah, I had my family and my friends are amazing, and it was incredible. It was a really like I mean it was horrible, but I'm saying when it was incredible. I thought I mean like when you're in that state of like illness, you're like my life's over. Like even I'm not gonna die. I'm not gonna die. I know I'm not gonna die, but I almost feel like my life is over. I don't know that I have. Like I don't know that I'm gonna turn this around. It feels so extreme. I can't even walk around the block.
Well, especially as a dancer, that
That's what
you
I'm saying.
need.
You rely
And-
on your body.
And it was a big. This was a big thing. Like your identity is so wrapped up in who you are as a dancer, as an artist, that when that gets snatched, on top of obviously feeling ill and feeling like shit, like it can really. It was like a huge, like existential crisis.
Yeah.
Like
Well, imagine you
dark night of the soul in every way.
You've been
but it
dancing
taught me
since you
so
were young.
much. It taught me so much. It did help me create space between, like my identity and like what the art that I make and like who I am as a like the I, you know.
And then from that, it helped you choose what you were going to do next in your life, because now you're making choices of.
So this is the thing. It was another like crazy, but it was another divine intervention. Like I was forced to then be like, okay, so I can't really like move my body, exercise the way that I want to, but I can make stuff. And so even through all those years, I was like choreographing, and I was at a studio like every day with kids, the same kids every day, and I was training those kids to sort of move like me, and I was developing my vocabulary as an artist. And who has that time and that accessibility? All I had to do every day was wake up and think about that, and that kind of kept me going. But then like I woke up after 2 years of being sick, and I was like, oh, I really have something here with like my movement vocabulary feels very much more refined and much more my own. I don't feel like I'm like choreographing based on other people's voices. I really I was able to then like incubate and create a voice of my own as a choreographer, which is really what I wanted to do long term.
And really, your vocabulary as a choreographer is so broad because of all the experiences you've had.
Yeah, I'm so lucky.
You
I'm
really
so
have-
lucky, and I have learned from so many people and so many different lanes.
Yeah.
That I feel like I have a lot of tools in my tool belt. Like everything, I feel like now, hopefully, when I look at my stuff, everything feels like me, but I can see sort of how I've been influenced throughout my career, right? My contemporary training, my theater training, you know, all of these different things, kind of like my hip hop, you know, the grooves and like all these things kind of meshed together. But I was able to, like, if I didn't get sick, I would not be able to be choreographing at the level that I think I'm making work now, because it wouldn't be the same. It wouldn't be the same. So I was able to just like figure that out for myself. It was exciting when I realized I was getting better, and I was coming out of it with something that felt really tangible. Like I was like, oh, like my next step is now clear to me, and I have all the tools to be able to do that.
And then from there, you got to dance in the show, which to me is one of the most amazing things you've done.
Illinois.
Yeah.
So that was also another crazy. My life has just been full of really great.
But
lucky.
a great experience.
It
and
was the most fulfilling, amazing thing I've ever done in my career.
And it was partly because pandemic, everybody was downtime.
Yes.
Because
and Justin Peck was
that
like,
you
I'm
met.
going to pick up, which I met doing Carousel. He was like, I'm going to pick up my passion project I've had in my head for many, many years. And it was this Sufjan Stevens album called Illinois. I think it's called Illinois, actually. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it's Illinois or Illinois, the album. But he was like, I'm going to craft a sort of dance narrative visual to the entire album of this Sufjan Stevens album. And he called me and was like, do you want to go for a walk in the park? I was in New York at the time. And he was like, we just like strolled through Riverside Park. And he was like, do you want to do this? And I was like, yeah, it sounds... Nobody knew what it was going to become. But I was like, I would follow Justin anywhere. I think Justin is truly like one of the voices of our generation. He's like an incredible, like visionary artist So I was like, I'm in. I'm like, I'm not sure how hard I can dance right now, but like, I'll try. And he was like very gracious in that way too, where he was like, why don't you take it? You know, we have workshops every few months. And he was like, why don't you take it one workshop at a time? He's like, do one. If you feel like that went well, do another one. And we can take it like that, step by step. And which was very generous, because a lot of people wouldn't offer that up like that if someone that wasn't feeling well, their best. They want to protect the thing they're making, which I get. And then we went through like several workshops of the show, and I was feeling fine. I was getting better. And then we did it out of town up at Bard College, which is like a few hours away from New York, upstate. And it was like the first iteration of it, and it went super well. And then from there we got like, we were going to do it like off Broadway in New York at this place called the Park Avenue Armory, which is like this amazing, epic, huge like military drill hall that they've turned in like to a performance space. And we did that for several weeks, and there was like, when it caught fire when we were at Park Avenue Armory, and like all the tickets were sold out, and like all these celebrities were coming, and it was like a very like hot ticket. Like you couldn't get a ticket. Tickets were super expensive. People were reselling them, and like all these celebrities would come every day. We had someone new coming that was like trying to get into the show. Like Justin had people reaching out to him, like famous people being like, can you get me into the show? Like, and we're just like doing this little dance. Like it was just this little, it really was this like little dance narrative passion project.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Was absolutely moved because it was just so raw. We didn't have a lot of money, but we had a lot of creativity, and we were able to use a lot of like the little things that we did have to make like, a major point.
And I think that you could see as an audience member the friendship that you guys had in the show. You're supposed to, but you could see the connection you guys had
100%.
outside of the show, because it was so obvious on that stage.
I mean, Justin gathered like sort of his crew. Like it was very much a family affair. Like we were able to create that thing as a family and like put it up on its legs as a family. And you know, most Broadway shows don't happen that way. Most Broadway shows have producers with a ton of money, and it's always built to be a commercial machine, to come out and make a gajillion dollars and be super commercial and have super commercial topics. And that this was like a little artsy fartsy gem that had a lot of support and like word of mouth, that it made it, then was able to then gather money from the back end and make it to Broadway.
And I know it was exhausting for you to do it, because it was a lot of dancing.
Emotionally exhausting. It was physically exhausting, of course. We were dancing for 90 minutes straight, but it was emotionally exhausting. Like there was a point in the show where I'd have to do a panic attack, and it would be like snot flying out of my face, tears flying out of my eyes, like, and I would have to do that like
Every
twice
night.
a day
Yeah.
sometimes.
It sucks that it was a short run. Sucks because
it was perfect.
No, for you, yes.
you, yeah,
But
but
I'm
like,
saying not.
Some people didn't see it.
Yes, and
which
like
is unfortunate
I
because it
remember-
really was like for dancers.
Yes.
I was able to bring a lot of dancers to the show that I train, and it was like they were like, I can't believe that I just saw like they have something to point at now and be like, that's what I want to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a storyteller, and that's what I want to do.
Which
I don't want to dance, but I want to do that.
90% of dancers don't get that.
No.
Right. So
And the fact that it was built on us and built around us and like our strengths and what we can do as artists was truly like a once in a lifetime, very much a dream come true.
Yeah.
I remember she went to go see it, and she was like, it was amazing. One of the best things I've seen. And I was like, I want to go see it. And then I tried to look for tickets. Nothing. And I was like, it was good.
yeah, we went towards the end of the run.
Yeah, we got nominated for Best Musical
Yeah.
at the Tonys, which was, we got to perform at the Tonys. Like, there was like 13 or 14 new musicals up in that pool, and they only picked 4. So imagine that we were able, we don't say anything
Yeah.
in this show.
Not one word.
We don't say one word. And it's just like, it was just so powerful that people were like, and it was so undeniable that people were like, we have to recognize that show.
Yeah.
And it was very special that we got that nomination.
And as a dancer, I understand dance themes, so I could read it while it's happening. But I think even like the regular person,
the Muggles
totally
understood it. The Muggles understood it. It's so universal.
Yeah. Yes.
All the things that we did in that show felt so universal.
Yep.
Love, loss, like grief, all of these things, you know, mental health struggles. Like people really know what that is. Everyone has. There was a universality to the language that was easy for people to get
And it
onto. And the
came at a
music
time.
was like so.
Yeah,
we had
no,
a
the music
live
was so good.
band, and
Live
the
band,
singers
yeah.
were like so powerful.
And it came at a time right after COVID.
Yes.
So like that was a peak time where people were like just very emotionally drained themselves.
People were, and also it was a really weird landscape on Broadway too. Like I think people were ready to see something completely just like authentic and genuine and new and different. and like just so we made what we wanted to make. We didn't have to listen to a bunch of producers, the people with money telling us what to do. We were able to just like make the thing raw like we wanted it, and then everybody came to it, which is so rare.
Yeah. No, and what sucks is it was made for you. Like nobody else could do that. Like nobody else could do that role.
That's never gonna. It was an insane.
Yeah.
It was an insane thing to have happen to the dancer or like an artist of any kind. Like I had a show made for me. Like not made for me, but I had a show like, like they built
the role was made for you.
Yes, the role was made around what I was able to do. Like someone looked at me and was like, "I trust you, and I want to use all of your strengths." And that's very rare.
Yeah.
You're always trying to do the opposite and fit into a mold.
Yeah. So we're checking off all these amazing things that you got to do. I mean, you look back and there's not much that you haven't. And then from there, now choreography added to that you the fact that you get to travel the world pretty much.
Yeah.
Choreographing. And I feel like, you've done a lot like here in the United States, but outside of here too, that those are experiences that you got because of you were with Mia Michaels in Canada. So you met somebody there.
Many different like things brought me to many different people. And now I'm very lucky to have spent the last like 3 or 4 years like really going into like amazing spaces with amazing dancers and like making all kinds of work and practicing a ton. Like just practicing a ton because...
Do you think you're done dancing?
No. I'm not like actively training right now, which I sometimes feel guilty about because like the dancer in me is like, what are you doing? Get into class. But I'm not closed off to performing still.
Because you're still young enough that you've got a couple years left.
I'm like, I feel the best I've ever felt because now I'm like, I eat amazing. Like I take care of myself. So now I actually feel like my body's in a great place to dance. And I will. I'm just I love making work. I love making dance so much. And a lot of my energy is right now is like into getting that ball rolling.
Let's talk a little bit about Ohio because I know people want to know
course.
about
I'd
your
love to.
experience with
I'd love to.
with them. So choreographed last year. So
yes.
Tell us a little bit about that.
So it was an incredible time. I mean, like Melissa called. I was doing Illinois at the time, and I was like riding my bike to work. And Melissa called me, and I answered, and I was like, "Can you even hear me? I'm riding my bike." I think she was trying to get a backwards way of asking me, is like seeing if I wanted to do it. And then eventually she just had to be like, well, some of my seniors were hoping like maybe you would think about doing it. And I was like, oh, I was very caught off guard. I've done dance team before, so I'm familiar with the world, but I would not consider myself like a connoisseur in the like of any kind. I've kept up with it over the years. Besides, I do Coral Reef every year just because like you guys are family and it's fun for me to do it and to connect with the kids and at time. But I don't know that I could take on this like the best dance team in the world. Yeah. So I felt stressed. I took a few weeks to think about it, and then ultimately I was like, what an amazing challenge. And ultimately, if you want to be a choreographer, this is going to be so much of your life. Like you're going to be given a task, you're going to be given like a set of rules, a world to live inside of. Like you're going to be given your task. And then you have to like achieve the thing that they're asking you to do while staying true to you. Mm-hmm. And I was like, what an amazing way to practice that. Like when I look at it, I'm like, what we achieved, I'm like very, very, very proud of the product that we got because it feels so authentically something that I would make, And so like the journey there was obviously very tough. Like it really is like a mind F. Like you really like you have 2 minutes, which makes everything, you would think like, oh, it's just 2 minutes. I'm like, it actually makes everything so much harder because there's no room for like a transition or like a nice solo moment or a duet. It really is just like everybody has to be in the exact right place at the exact right time all the time. Your eye has to know exactly where it's going for every single second of the 120 seconds. And there's no time to waste. So, I mean, I'd work on ideas and then you get in your head. You're like, well, is that good enough? And is that idea even, is it bad? Like, is it, so then you start to second guess.
Did I show everything?
Everything that you do has to have intention behind it.
100%. And I would work on an idea for like 6 hours and then be like, cut it, it's not good enough. Like, and then come in the next day and be like, all right, new idea. Like it was a long process in that way just because like, I just have a very high bar, and I wasn't going to take on Ohio State and not do my personal best work. That if I was like, can you find a way to spin on your nose and float? They'd be like, yes, give us 5 minutes. Like, we're gonna figure it out. They're some of the most amazing dancers I've ever worked with, like dance team or not. They're incredible. They can do anything, and that's also stressful.
Yeah.
Because like for dancers who can literally do anything, like what do? You're not catering to them. You're like literally just like, the world's your oyster.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
No, and it's stressful that these kids are only there for 4 years.
Yeah.
So, you're taking 1 year of their 4.
Yeah.
And
I want to make it
huge.
special. And I think that I really did invest a lot of my energy into them, because I don't take it lightly that they would trust me with their piece. And those kids didn't really know me. I had never really worked with any of them before. I've never worked alongside Melissa or the coaches. I was a new person to their family, and that must be scary to like ask someone who you don't know to like take care of the thing that matters most to you, basically in the world in that moment. Mm-hmm. And I really did my darndest to like make sure that they felt like they were taken care of. Like I wanted them to feel like I cared and I was present, and I wasn't gonna let them go on without like the best possible thing I could ever do for them.
And they're so appreciative because they see that.
I mean, now we have an amazing relationship. Like the dancers and I think there's a built-in trust now. I just went and did their home routine for fun.
Yeah.
And
that was not stressful.
That was not stressful. It was so fun. And but I had a built-in trust, and like the coaches and I know how to work together. The dancers and I know how to work together. They trust me. I love them. They love me. We have a relationship that was like cooked in. I did it in 3 days, and I was like, all right, ready for the stage. Like, it was just an amazing process because we just had all that baked in already. But
chemistry between team, coach, and choreographer is so important.
It really is.
People take it for granted until they feel that.
You're so right.
The second that you feel like I have a connection with the choreographer,
like he understands the dancers as people, or she, like whoever understands the dancers, who they are as people, what they have to offer, like performance-wise, what they have to offer quality-wise. Then the coaches, like what their strengths are, like how we're able to collaborate, how we're able to work together. Those are all things that you're learning. Our first time working together, we're all learning. We're all like, I'm like a little bit like, oh, do they even like me? Like, I don't know.
And you're so many hours in the studio. It's like
hours.
Your emotions are up and down.
You have to become quite like a family.
Yeah.
Because you just are locked in a room trying to figure that shit out for so many hours. Like, it's really hard for me to like, I'm not afraid to admit that I'm a competitive person. Like, I love to compete with myself. I love to see if I could outdo myself. I love to like have game nights and like play games, and like I love to win. It's well, if you're gonna play the game, I like to play as hard as I possibly can to win. Mm-hmm. I think that's fun, and it can be healthy. This is like a whole nother level.
Yeah.
It's intense, and
this is like a whole nother level. It's just like aired out for everyone to see. And it's so many eyes on it, and it's so much judgment, and it is what it is. Ultimately, it's amazing because dance is getting, eyes on it, and that's always good. But I think for me as a choreographer, I was like, okay, so this is the most amount of eyes I've ever had on my work ever.
Well, I think the dance team right now is also getting a whole different kind of recognition.
Yes.
Because
so
now it's
stressful.
the merge of the concert world coming in with dance team.
So many things came out across my table after that. Yeah. After Ohio State's thing, which is it's incredible, but it's so funny to me. Like, I've had the career of so I've done so many things, and like I just did like Ohio State's jazz, and then suddenly there was like all these there's all this interest, and I was like, oh, interesting. Like, it's really telling. Like, honestly, I'm so grateful
because I think that we look at dancers, and obviously we think artists. Naturally, we think artists, but then when you look at dance team, you think athletes.
Yeah.
So then it just creates a whole different kind of purpose to dance.
Yeah.
And now
agree.
Now those worlds are merging.
Yes.
Now we see artists becoming athletes and athletes becoming artists, and it's now opening everybody's eyes to, oh wait, we can do that, and then we actually like that, and now we're entertaining it. So now all these kids are becoming more interested in things like dance team.
Yeah, it's really cool. I have so much respect for those dancers. I mean, I could never do what they do. Seriously. I mean, that's
what you think.
No.
You were on dance team.
No. What I'm talking about, like, I mean, it's the experience that I had, but I could never do what the Ohio State kids did.
That's what you think. Remember you did, so you think you dance? And you were every single day.
No,
doing all
but they're doing it for 4 years. And they don't really have like an off season.
But
it's
they
insane.
love it.
I mean, they love it. But I'm saying, I just, like, you know, some people in my world are like, you know, very serious dancers, like kind of like turn their noses up at dance team. They're like, that's not really dance. And those things, that's kind of changing. But after I worked with them, I was like, no, you guys, like, you don't understand. Like, if you had those dancers in your room, you would understand a level of like energetic presence while you're trying to make something that we could really learn a lot from. Mm-hmm. I didn't have to do anything but show up and make the steps. They carried the entire room and the energy of the room by themselves. They were just incredible. The way that like they ran the space while I was trying to make. If I was working over here, they were doing it over there. If I was, you know, thinking, they were keeping the energy up. It was just like
they care a lot.
They care a lot, level of discipline. And that doesn't really exist in a lot of spaces in the professional world.
No, they're not doing it for money.
No,
they don't get paid for this. This is all because they love it. The passion they have. The
community there is super special, and I imagine that it's very similar across many different dance teams. I'm sure Ohio State's not the only one. But I was able to experience their culture, and their culture is something that we can borrow a lot from.
And like, college is so cool.
College is so cool. I'm so sad. Like, I'm so sad I didn't go.
You can go back.
No, I'm good. I could never survive.
He did a couple of tailgates when he first graduated, and
my friends would take me to tailgates, and I would thrive. Like, I was made for that.
I remember you would be like, "Oh, FSU, I think I want to go there." Oh, you have.
I was like, I would like been in a frat probably, like knowing me, like I would have just been like, yeah, let's do it. And I just, but it is cool. Like Columbus is such a cool like town, and honestly, some of the best gluten-free food I've ever had in my life.
That's good.
Now being celiac,
just for anybody who wants to know.
Just drawing that full circle back to being celiac, it is like the most celiac-friendly town ever. A lot of the restaurants are owned,
cute little town,
and a lot of the restaurants are owned by the same people. So like, they take those like gluten-free like allergies very seriously. So a lot of their fryers are like dedicated gluten-free. I can eat all the fries and like I can just eat a lot of stuff there.
Not like Miami.
And it's so nice though, because after a long day of making dance, like I was able to go out to these restaurants and be like, wow, I can eat more than one thing on the menu. Everywhere is getting better.
Yeah.
But it was truly like, it was a remarkable experience. I love those kids, and I love the coaches. It was great. I'm so happy we won, honestly. It was like a perfect little, you know, the weekend, the UDA weekend was tough. Like it was a rough go. We had a rough go over like the few weeks leading up to the event.
And they were just adult, like shitty cards there.
O'Hara was dealt some shitty cards. And I thought they handled it with a lot of grace, and they came back swinging, which I think is honestly like the funnest way this could have gone. Like, it wasn't fun for me personally, that I was disassociating and like didn't know what was going on.
I guess it was fun for the audience.
It was fun for like the competition of it all.
Yes.
It wasn't fun for Friday, Saturday, because like they were kind of like dropping the ball a little bit, and you were like, oh, is this gonna be like a style? Are they gonna smack this down? Like, are they gonna leave by a lot? Like, is this gonna happen? And the fact that I just actually can't believe the way that they came back. It was so inspiring.
Yeah.
And I mean, I was obviously like so nervous, and I was like shitting. I was like so nervous. Because ultimately I didn't really care if they won. Obviously it would have been great. I wanted the work to be seen one time exactly like we planned it.
Yeah.
And
They did it.
And they did it. And they did it when it mattered. And it was quite literally perfect.
Yeah.
It was
It's
beautiful.
it's almost like when you go watch the NBA finals.
Yeah.
And the team that you want to win, they lose, and they lose, and you're like, this is all set up.
Yeah.
They win.
You're like, Orlando State.
Yes.
But you're like, there's no way Ohio
State is not big in the heat.
Okay, there's no way. It felt safe.
They're like gaslighting everybody. But
Yeah, they almost felt like they were doing it on purpose.
Yes.
I mean, they weren't.
No.
But
But yeah, it's like you say the same thing. You're always like, oh, they do it on purpose. They do it on purpose to, like, you know, all of a sudden, bam.
Yeah.
And but for the coach and for the dancers, it's a whole different story.
I mean, I wanted to throw up that entire weekend.
No stress.
Which I wanted to throw up fight, like, after, like, that they performed not their best, and I was really, like, shaken. I went to Publix with dear Cole Smith, we were staying at a house together, and I was just, like, walking around with a cart for, like, 30 minutes, like, kind of just, like, not in my body. And I was
Empty
cart.
cart.
Like, there's nothing in your cart. Nothing. Right. I guess like grab like a thing of chicken or something. I don't know. I don't know. Like I don't know what to do in this moment. I was up all night. Like what do we do? Like what are we gonna do? Like we can't just go down. Like we put way too much energy into this to just like not even at least have the performance that we wanted. Whether we got first or second, I think that's subjective. But I think to not have the performance that we wanted was rough for me to accept.
And, she has enough experience. And I think that she's such a great coach that, we trust that she's going to make sure it happens.
Was, and it happened.
And it didn't. And it's just bond.
I'd be like, I did what I could in in our little circles. I was like giving some like real, what is that sports about football movie where they give the speech?
Which one?
My God, I don't know.
There's somebody.
People do dances to it. It's like a recording of like a speech. I'm pretty sure our dance team has done it anyway. Not important. Something like that. It was giving very much that energy. I was trying to channel that as much as I could. I don't have that kind of personality. Like I'm not a very kind of person, but I was doing my best.
It's funny.
Shannon Nather and Nicole Smith are like that. So they got me ready.
Got you going.
They were there, and I was like, yeah, well, they sir. So they were very supportive. They were very supportive, and I was like, just do it right.
The chorus is very cute. She is a little
obsessed.
She's the cutest thing, yes.
I wouldn't have gotten through that weekend without her. It was a tough time, and she was there like, it's fine. What happens on Monday morning, you're going to be fine. And I was like, am I?
Are you sure?
Yeah, it was interesting.
It's hard. People don't understand the stress of that stage.
No.
It really is. They enter as a stage for sure. Like you did jump a billion times, and
it's not the same.
You in Illinois, you were in all these musical things and all that.
The closest thing I can imagine in those kind of competition is like doing the Tonys telecast, because it's like very much like, all right, it's live. Right now you have to go out there, and if you do it, if anything comes out weird, that's how it will live. Yeah. In infamy forever. Yeah, right. People would look it up on YouTube forever. Yeah. And that's what it is.
So I think that people take for granted what that moment feels like and how you've worked an entire year for that.
And it's that one moment. It really is like, it sounds so crazy. It really, but you're like, you have one moment. It doesn't matter what you did yesterday. It doesn't matter if you scored a 100 in semifinals. And you show up to finals. Look at Ohio. Doesn't matter. All that matters is what you do on the finals floor. Yeah. Which is cool. It's cool to me. And you can just like reset.
Yeah.
Either it's great and not great.
It is, but it is exactly that. Like you could have, I have to sneeze in the middle of my turn. So that's it.
And that's it. Yeah.
So, we've had singing over her hair, the fuck. Everything on stage turning to do that.
I can't even imagine doing second turns at all at this moment anymore. To be honest, like, this is the first thing to go as a dancer when you don't practice.
That happened to somebody like, oh my God, I need to turn, but I never know. I don't know why I thought of it, but yeah. I mean, it could be worse. That's going to lie me.
I mean, let's hope this isn't happening to anyone.
I gotta think though while you're turning, like there's gotta be some sort of adrenaline rush.
The brain is just not like calm enough to like sneeze.
Yeah.
Notice that when you're adrenaline pumping, you're not like gotta sneeze.
We need like a scientist to come on
to break that down.
Break that down first. Why have I never sneezed one turning?
Wow. So that was it was great. It was lovely. I think it was definitely like for me felt like a one and done. Like I was able to do it. I did it exactly how I wanted it. It turned out amazing. I love those kids. I'll revisit. I'll go teach choreography. I'll do whatever it is. But that particular experience was so intense.
And you taught at their clinic.
Yeah.
Which was the stage that she had set up.
It's amazing. They never do it well there.
They do.
They did do it well. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I'll have a relationship with the program hopefully forever. But yeah, I think it was just like it just was so intense and time consuming to do the routine. But I wish luck to the next person. I'll probably be there, to cheer them on.
She will do great. I'm sure they're going to be amazing. I'm excited to see what they do because I haven't go there. So
it's so exciting.
Yeah.
So it was so fun to work with her on the home routine. It's like she belongs there.
Yeah.
She was right at home.
Yeah.
It's great.
She's a gem. So
yeah,
I'm happy for her.
She was on the podcast, right?
Yeah. Yeah. She had a great recruitment experience that I think could be very beneficial to other kids who are try it here. Her work ethic is, unmatched.
Bar none, yeah.
So she is a good resource for kids who are and she's very open to helping.
Yeah.
So I'm glad we brought her on, and I think that she had people reach out to her and ask her for advice, and she's been able to help out and guide them. So, but yeah, so your experiences, Ricky, have been awesome. I mean, watching you grow up has been very special, and to see how you've been able to do so many things that. I think little you, when you were a little freshman in high school,
I would have never in a million years imagined that this was going to be my life.
Even your senior year, that you had on my bird, like you wrote
the Juilliard,
the Yamaha, and all these things.
These things that just didn't turn out.
It did turn out.
Work out exactly.
And anything. I mean, you would have gone to Juilliard, and then what? I mean,
I don't know. I really could not imagine. Maybe I would have found my way to where I'm at anyway. But I can't really imagine it going that way. I probably would have gone super granola contemporary. Wait, this is great. Like, I would have really pushed my body to its fullest potential.
Just you see, but you did so much musical theater.
Yeah.
And
I love theater. I mainly want to choreograph in
that part
in Broadway, and I love it.
When he was freshman and sophomore, we did musical theater dances. He was so mad.
Well, okay, let's talk about this one.
Everyone gets contemporary when they're in varsity.
Yeah.
So I got my 4 dances at Coral Reef, or on JB sometimes too. Of my 4 pieces at Coral Reef, I got 1 contemporary dance. I did 3 jazz.
You did.
I did Beat, Love Shack, and Fever. So imagine. My junior year piece was iconic, but
yes.
I mean, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Okay. What has been one of the most memorable moments, memorable coaching moments for you? Like, where you just felt like you really made a difference, like a memorable coaching moment over the last
Good question.
However many, I mean, you were doing it for what,
29 years?
29, almost 30 years. For as long as I've been alive, actually.
And you were theater? That's a tough question, because with every team, I try to do something to help them. And, as a coach, not just as a dance coach, but as a person, I don't want them to leave. I don't want any of my teams ever to leave. Like, all I did was just push them to win or to be on the stage.
It was waste on my energy.
Yes, that's not what I want. I want them to get an experience that is life teaching, but they will later on in life come back and be like, I learned that in dance. And they're not even dancing.
Yeah.
But they're in their regular life.
And life lessons.
A life lesson. And, when I see my kids come back and I see just Tiffany.
Oh my God, was he a great story.
We did a baby.
Yeah. So we had one girl from our, my junior year team, varsity 2013 team, come back with her baby to watch me choreograph the current varsity.
And she's so jealous.
She's so cute, but she was her alumni, her baby, and she was there. We're still best friends. We're still super close.
Yeah, and those things are so special because
we had a conversation about it last night, and we're just 2011 us would be so freaked out by that.
That's
who would have thought first of all that I'd still be involved in crew, which is amazing. But they're Tiffany would be coming back with her baby, and that we'd still be best friends. And
those are very special because that's what I aim to do. I mean, I love the fact that I have kids who are dancing and continue dancing. I look at you, I look at Nicole, I look at Brendan Bryant, and so I look at all these dancers that are dancing. I love that, but I love to see.
It's just as important. It's just as important to learn. I always say this, and what you learn in the dance room is so important for your entire life.
For everything, for everything.
There's not a moment wasted in the dance space,
and I think that the team aspect is something that you don't get in a studio, which is why I love dance team so much. I'm so passionate.
It is special
because you don't learn those things in the studio.
Those are a little bit down.
Yes,
and you're able to really pull each other up and
because it's not about you.
You're able to achieve so much more.
Everybody is there for each other, and
that draws into the discipline too, because you gain a certain level of discipline because you don't want to let anybody down. At the end of the day, if I mess up on the team,
and I have to be honest, I don't know where I would have ended up without dance team. I have to be real. Me when I came to the court, I was very much a soloist vibe. I did a lot of that kind of work. I was very much pushed to be that kind of dancer.
and like y'all got me together. Like you were able to be like, it's so true. There is hardly any work for dancers like that. Like you're always going to be dancing with people. It's always going to be a community mindset. It's always going to be for the better good. You're always going to have to like match your arm. You're always going to have to like take notes correctly. And so like, I didn't really have that in other spaces. And I feel like dancing really did teach me how to like.
And I would have to yell at you.
100%.
I would have to like be like, Ricky.
No, 100%. And I was like, no, but like the arm looks better this way. It wasn't clocking to me. I didn't understand. And I think that like, by the time I left Coral Reef, I really did gain so much experience in like, okay, this is how we clean, this is how we look together, this is how I have to follow instruction. I have to follow instruction. I'm a dancer. I have to be able to like, okay, it's the heads to the corner. I have to do the heads to the corner. I can't just like, bob, do whatever I want.
Where's the finger? Where would the finger?
No, 100%. And it's almost like to like a fault. It's almost like to the extreme. It's great though, because someone like me did that. I did that.
And it's not that that's the right or the wrong way, because I don't think we're right along, but it's.
I think for me it was a great like formula for Ricky Ubeda, but like without the dance team piece of it, I mean, I don't know where I learned a lot about leadership. I learned a lot about collaboration. I learned a lot about community. I learned a lot about being a team player.
Yeah.
And I don't know what I was. Like, I don't know what I was.
Well, now when choosing people for jobs and things like that, those are probably things that you look for.
100%.
You don't want to be with somebody, or you don't want to hire somebody that's not teachable.
No, that's not coachable.
Or is not willing to learn or willing to
100%. It's funny, like, if you would bring any of those girls, any of your girls, any of the girls from Ohio State into, like, our spaces, I bet you it'll work forever.
Yeah.
Like, if they were just let into the room, whoever's running that room is going to be like, wow.
Yeah.
That person is on top of it, ahead, 2 steps ahead of me, energetically, like carrying their energy correctly. It's always with me. It's always paying attention. It's always on their shit. It's always doing the right arm at the right count. Yeah. You know what I mean? And that is it. You'd be surprised how little of that we might have in our community. And like we can learn a lot about how these teams run, like rehearse, and like the way that they carry themselves in the space.
Anyway, let's talk about it. This is my jacket there.
That's right. This is the first piece that I choreographed for you guys.
That was a gift.
One of them. You have many jackets this year, but
that you.
We'll see. This one's the one that I did,
and that's the one that's framed. That's the one that framed. So you're the first team. You won the first team that won 2 jackets. Yeah.
Coral Reef Dance 2013.
Yeah. Which dance was that?
I know more. Shout out Ricky Ruiz.
Yeah, that was
legend.
Yes.
Legendary legend.
I shout out to Ricky a lot.
I know. And you know what?
He deserves it.
We should do more.
Yeah. I love him.
And then
the one contemporary piece.
That's the one contemporary piece that I got.
Okay.
And then I started choreographing your varsity this 2020. Well,
was it JB
I did junior 2019.
That the year before? I thought you did.
I choreographed it in 2018.
Me and Levy and Rose?
Yes. Lady Gaga. Yeah. Star is Born. Obviously. And then in 2019, I guess in 2020 when they performed it, I choreographed. And this is the 7th. We just wrapped our 7th jazz choreography.
It is up there with one of my favorites.
I'm very proud. I'm very proud of the kids. They worked really hard, and also I think it's an exceptional piece. Yeah. And I think it's probably my favorite that I've done for Coral Reef.
I think the music is perfection, and the dancing is just fits the dance so well.
The dancers look really good.
They are really good doing it. It's gonna go up there. It's gonna be so good.
I'm very excited. Yeah. I'm very, very,
very excited. They're excited. I mean, you could see it. You could see it like from the moment you started. You could see like
it was a fit. Yeah. Everything, the music, the news, the dancers are happy. I was happy. Everyone was happy.
Yeah.
It was all a fit. We were moving, grooving. Yeah. It was so lovely to sing this week, which never happens.
No, it happened a little bit with
the 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
Yeah,
that was pretty seamless to it. Like that one that flowed really well. Even Blow's daughter, I think you didn't.
Oh yeah. Got the bass done pretty quickly.
And you had to come back a bit, but that one, to talk about a dance that was disaster, and then finally hit on the stage.
I forgot about that.
That was...
It had a very same trajectory as Ohio State's.
Yeah, we like the
Wherever I come to UDA, it's just like, well, you guys put me through it. That's what it is. You guys just know it on there, and you're like, we have to make Ricky like sweat a little bit.
What after he won so you think you danced?
Oh my god!
Came to UDA.
I surprised the kid.
Yeah, you were there for 24 hours.
No, I was doing the So You Think You Can Dance tour in Seattle. Like it wasn't even 24 hours.
Which are so like how did it like people can't see him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, everybody forget it. They run up to you and I go, hey, these dancers are exactly who he is. So it was crazy, but they were so excited.
It was an amazing. That was an amazing media.
Yeah, it was.
How does it feel to like watch your team like grow like in the wood? I feel like the culture's even been different like since I was on the team. Like you yourself as a coach, and I think like the way that you push the program has also shifted.
Yeah,
in the last like 10 years. Like
it's like I always try to do something different. I don't want to be the same. I like for my team structure to be different. Like what we do to be different. If we do something and I see other teams are doing something, and saying, okay, we gotta do something else.
Yeah,
I think that helped.
I think it's also like it felt like when me and Sammy started at the same time. When you hired her, like, it wasn't because she did Smooth Criminal.
No.
She had her before she sort of ascended to like this amazing and legendary college dance.
That's what a lot of coaches don't think about too. You won't get AI to
floor,
or they become this huge thing.
Yeah, that's what I'm always on the hunt for.
Yeah.
When people are like asking me to come in and let's say I don't have the availability, I'm like, work a little harder to like see who's on the cusp, like who has their amazing sort of sauce and like who can really.
And maybe don't have it quite perfect yet, but you know
you get it on the ground floor in a few years, like you're in with them and you have like a relationship with them, and they know that you don't have them because they choreographed this big amazing thing and now they want you, because that can sometimes be a turn off.
Yeah, that's how I feel like with Nathan and Andrew, like. But
I'm like I'm baffled that they're not like
they're on the way.
And they're the best dancers and both incredible choreographers. Like
and they're like so humble. And so like
incredible guys,
but got them at a point where like they were just picking up on the dance team. Like Nathan had just signed to be an assistant, an apprentice, and they were like, "Are you like?" Not asking me like, "Are you sure?" In the sense that they didn't trust him, but are you sure because like
he has already done the work,
right? Is that on his own? Yeah, and I was like, "No, I want him." And with Angie, he's done on his.
She's just like, to me, Nathan's trajectory is like
incredible.
Gonna be. In 10 years, we'll have this conversation again. We'll be like, remember we talked about Mason Sherry? Because he's going to be legendary.
Yeah, no,
I really do believe. And then the guy is destined for greatness.
And his life.
Well, I don't really know him. How am I talking about in it? I'm like, I just think I can see it.
And he lets my kids is so genuine. He'll come back and he'll keep doing your dances forever, no matter how famous he is, because he's got that kind of a heart. Like he feels like this is where we started. You gave him a shot. I'm going to go with it. I feel like Sammy's the same way. And Sammy, like, she's like,
love her.
You gave me my shot before anybody knew who I was. I mean, she is the shit now.
I mean, the same for me.
Yeah. But we knew, I knew you were going to go places. There was
But as a dancer.
Yeah.
You didn't have to give me opportunities as a choreographer.
No, but you did them at school. I knew that it
was in there somewhere, but I definitely didn't have it all figured out.
Yeah. But you had enough.
I don't have it figured out. I'm just figuring it out. Yeah. I'm figuring it out.
But again, it goes to share what that kind of chemistry with coaches, teams, all of that, why it's so valuable so important, and why it needs to happen.
Yeah.
At this point, you don't want to know a life with any choreographer. I mean, I don't imagine you want to know a life with any other choreographer, but you don't want to know a life with any other choreographer that you don't have that chemistry with, and your team doesn't.
I know, and that's what makes it, I'm sure, very difficult for college dancing, because like even if they can't almost like use the same people.
Yeah, right.
They have to change the hats. They should do. The expectation for them is that they switch it up every year, which I think is cool, but they have to like constantly redo like the building of the
Trust.
trust,
The
the trust and chemistry, like every single year. And they're like, is it gonna work? Like, are they gonna like doing dance team? It's a very particular thing.
Yeah.
Are they gonna enjoy it? Are they gonna be like into it? Are we gonna have to like fix it?
I think that now it's at the point with college that
Oh, a lot of people want PR. They're fighting for that spot.
so many people, so many dancers were afraid of going to college and having the college experience before because they were afraid of missing out on being able to dance professionally later and not build those connections early on, like you were talking about, that, you know, building those connections very early in life. But now all these people are wanting to come in and teach for these dance teams, choreograph for these dance teams, and they're building those connections and building that network. So the second that they graduate from college, that's it. They can pretty much go anywhere.
Yeah.
Because they had
It's a little bit different now. Like, again, like if in 3 years' time, I'm like choreographing in the industry, which knock on wood, I hope that's what's happening. I would hire any of those girls from Ohio State in one second. If they ever came into my audition, we might be like, we need to hire her. Trust me, we need to hire that person. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And same for like lots of dancers, I'm sure.
And that's why it's important for coaches to always make sure that they're doing their own research on who to bring in. Because you're building that network for your kids.
100%.
So if you're trying to bring in these choreographers,
And it's so much about the experience too, yeah. Like, I'm sure like you're talking about with Nathan and Andrew, or like I'm sure with Sammy and with like what the kids are getting from the experience of being in a room with this person for so many days is the goal, is the point.
Yeah.
That's the point. Winning is the cherry on top, like having the amazing piece is cherry on top. The point is to learn from this person and to have an experience with this person and share their energy and like, you know, by osmosis, take a little piece of them with you.
Yeah.
You have to be very careful about who you let in to that space.
Absolutely.
Because if it's someone who, you know,
Toxic.
if it's toxic, then you automatically setting up your ear and the team, and that's just the energy that you're bringing into your, like, again, it's like, it's very alchemical to me.
Yeah. Also, even the kids, like, you have to be careful. Like, there might be a kid who's super, super talented, but if their energy doesn't work, you don't want them on the team.
No.
You don't want
Not
how
no.
talented they are. It's going to hurt more than help. And that's
Just for
that, you know, I've had that in the past, that's happened. And, you know, I could see the difference in the team that doesn't have the toxic energy in it. So they have that one, yes, and like, you know,
100%.
that bring everybody down. So you know, you gotta pick and choose your battles.
100%. But it's all very exciting to see that like our like this little dancing world is really opening up to like different voices and different styles. I mean, the piece that I made for Ohio State, don't know how that would have been received 5 years ago.
Yeah.
10 years ago. They would have been like,
What is that?
I don't know what I'm looking at.
I don't understand you.
I was even a little bit nervous this year. We like, you know, we did get a little nervous. We were like, are they gonna be like, what is this? Like, what is, you know? And again, it was like perfect. It was like perfect in the sense that like it just went far enough as far as like the style of it all. But I think it's really exciting. Like, okay, so what's next? Someone can really come in and really shake it up and be like, and they, you know, and then when they recognize it, it really does push the industry forward.
Like in college world, Ohio, if they cross that boundary, and pushing to see what they're gonna cross it to.
That's why to me it's like when they asked me, I was like, if I was ever gonna do one, they're the one. Like they've been for so many years pushing things forward, and that's scary. That's not an easy thing to
No, at all.
So I think for them to trust me, even just like thinking about doing an instrumental song for the coaches at Ohio State, they were like, that's tough. And I was like, really? I'm like, that's not. It's epic. It's so exciting. It's so dynamic. They're like, it's just hard. Like it's
hard to make a connection.
People find words. They find connection in words and songs that they know. And I was just like, I think we can make it work. It's gonna be tough. It was impossible. Honestly, it was so hard. But
it worked. It happened.
It worked.
So. Well, Ricky, it's been so nice to have you with us.
Oh, it was so fun.
We love talking to you. And
it's nice to spend some time at home.
Who would have thought that we could have just sat here and talked for hours and hours and hours?
Yeah.
And to our listeners, thank you so much for listening in with our interview with Ricky. We loved having you. We'll definitely bring you back sometime after maybe like a year or so. Like sure, that you're doing a lot.
A little yearly check-in.
Yeah, that'd be great. And if you like what you heard, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube and follow us on Instagram. And if you have any questions or suggestions, be sure to click on the link tree in our bio and fill out our Google form. Bye, guys.
Go Kudos.